Good morning, Culés. It is time to wake up and Barça. Live Barcelona news coming at you right here on the Undefeated channel. Since we did not have a episode on Monday, we'll be going over the good, the bad, and the Barça from Barcelona's 4-0 victory over Valladolid over the weekend. Plus, we'll be talking about transfer rumors. We are approaching deadline day. Aubameyang, Memphis, De Jong, Pjanic, Serginho Dest, Braithwaite. The list goes on. We've got a lot to discuss. Like I said, match review, the good, the bad, the Barça, transfer rumors, all the Barcelona news coming out of the Camp Nou, plus whatever else comes up in our conversation. Good morning to all the culés. Welcome if this is your first time. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you can be part of the conversation with your fellow culés as we have a little bit of caffeine, catch up on the news, have some great conversation, start our day in a positive way. That's what we do here on the Undefeated channel. Let's go ahead and get things started the right way, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the Undefeated Mustache John.
Okay, my friends, like I said, we've got a match overview to start with. Barcelona versus Valladolid. Big 4-0 victory. Look at this. Lewandowski on the double. Pedri getting one. And a little cherry on top from Sergi Roberto in stoppage time. If we look at the full stats from the match, 24 shots, 9 on target from Barcelona. I like that. Could be a little bit more accurate, but the number of shots coming flooding in, I'm okay with that. 68% possession, 637 passes, 89% accuracy. 89 is like bare minimum for Barcelona. I speak about this a lot. 89, 90, 91% accuracy. That's when you know Barcelona is cooking. That's when you know that we're hitting on all cylinders. That's when you know that the chemistry is there. When we're sub 89%, even 88, 87, I'm telling you, there is a noticeable difference in the results in what happens on the pitch when we don't get that little bit more of a percentage. We live and die on percentage. It's in our Barcelona DNA. 9 fouls compared to Valladolid's 8. 14 corners. That, again, is something I'll be bringing up all season long. We got to get more goals off of corner kicks. Xavi's doing what he can. He's come up with a new little strategy with Dembele and I believe De Jong. Forget, or was it Dembele and Rafinha? I forget. 2 men on the corner. One goes short, overlap to the inside, usually Dembele. That sets up a 2-on-1 situation where he can maybe find Pedri or he can find the first man backdoor. I digress. We got to do better on our corners, but the fact that we got 14 of them means we're pushing forward. We're creating chances in the attack, which I like. Scrolling down to the table now, we are sitting pretty in third place behind league leaders Real Madrid and Real Betis, both on 9 points, but we're early, friends. 3 matches in, 2 wins and a draw for Barcelona. I'm liking what I'm seeing. So far, oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's not Monday, but it feels like it. Reset the counter. Man, that is the most frequent mistake on this channel. Restarting the intro. I got all this fancy gear. I got this, whoops, as I break stuff, I got this Stream Deck here, right? I've got the video queued up. I've got all this fancy technology and software, hardware, everything. But I can't stop my intro from replaying when I change scenes if I don't turn off the button. Anyway, I digress, my friends. I digress. It was a good match, 4 goals for Barcelona. But to talk the details, let's get into the good, the bad, and the Barça from the, let me say that again. Let me back up. Let's dive into the good, the bad, and the Barça from Barcelona's 4-0 win over Valladolid. Let's start, of course, by discussing what was good about this match. Hang on, let me get on the right screen here. This is what we want. Okay, let's talk about what was good about the match. And I've got a list here. I've got a long list of things because this 4-0 victory put a smile on my face. Let's start with Rafinha getting that first assist. So much energy on the wing. So much creativity. He gets the ball and it's boom, it's go time. There's no hesitation. There's no indecisiveness. Rafinha is there for action. Loving what I'm seeing from Rafinha. Araujo, back to his more natural center back position. I'm into it. Koundé getting the start at right back. Good, not great. Okay, solid, not amazing. I'm a big fan of Koundé. It's a tremendous signing. I don't love that we spent $50 million to potentially play him at right back for this season. Either way, he put in a good performance at right back along with Araujo at center back. And it's a good thing for me that Araujo gets to move back into center back. Koundé looked much more comfortable than Araujo did. Again, nothing amazing from Koundé at the right back position on the attack, but you could see when he's pushing forward, he doesn't look uncomfortable like Araujo did. So good for Koundé getting in that right back position and at least looking like he knows what he's doing on the attacking side. Pedri racking up some goals. Balde, the pace, the dribbling on the left side, it looks like that's going to be his spot. He's stolen that starting left back from Jordi Alba so far. 2 out of 3 matches getting the start. Again, he's going to have to work on that finishing product. He's going to have to work on finding the man at the end of the cross. A little bit more composure at the end, and you're going to see level after level of progress from Balde at left back. Very excited for his project. Progress is how you say words. Very excited for Balde's progress. Continuing on, I told you I got a list here. Ter Stegen getting the clean sheet. That's certainly worth mentioning. I told you this is Ter Stegen's year. I'm going to keep repeating it all season long because everyone else had given up on Ter Stegen. And I'm sitting here saying, no, he's still the big German wall. He is our number 1 keeper, and he's going to be up there in the conversation. Maybe not number 1 in the world, but top 3, top 5 for sure by the end of this year. So great that Ter Stegen got a clean sheet. But overall, what gets the good box today, my friends? Dembele. Yeah, he gets the return. If you've been following me for a while last season, you know that Dembele was on a hiatus, a temporary suspension from getting the Barça, or the mustache man of the match. You just can't be that selfish in your contract negotiations and not have some kind of repercussion. So Dembele, for the first time in almost a year, gets a box other than the bad box, and it's because tremendous performance. 2 assists for Dembele. And if we jump over to this tweet here from Barça Buzz, a nice little stat dropped. Ousmane Dembele has registered 13 assists in La Liga in 2022. That's the calendar year of 2022. More than any other player in Europe's top 5 leagues in that time. Can't deny it, folks. Can't deny the abilities of Dembele. I like the unselfish play. I like the dynamic attack that he's bringing, where he can go inside or he can go towards the end line, get a cross in, get a shot, or a little dump pass like we saw to Pedri. And then his second assist to Lewandowski was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So yes, while I was extremely upset with Dembele last season, created Dembele Cam, had him suspended from any positive rewards in the good, the bad, and the Barça. He's back. We are temporarily setting aside all of that drama. I don't want to get into it. He's got a 2-year contract. We're good. Whatever. We don't need to get into it. Focus on the positives. Dembele, 2 assists, tremendous performance, gets the good box this week. Now, that means we have to discuss what was bad about this match. And what was bad about this match, we change our lighting again, was the fact that there's no Serginho Dest. As an American, I'm sitting here watching Barcelona, loving everything that I'm seeing, except for the fact that there's no Serginho Dest. I want more details on what happened, what was said or not said, what was done or not done by Serginho Dest, what has been communicated. I don't understand why he's getting the same treatment as Braithwaite. I don't understand why he's being shunned like Umtiti. It makes no sense to me. Sergio Roberto coming off the bench, playing right back. It's just a Band-Aid. It's just a Band-Aid. Yes, he scored a goal. Fantastic. His positioning on the attacking side in terms of being supportive, creating triangles to pass through, that's all going to be great. But talking about Roberto's lack of pace on the wing, it's going to be a huge, huge problem for Barcelona. We've already run this experiment. Sergio Roberto has been the right back for since Danny left. He's been playing out of position midfielder at right back. Tried Araujo. He doesn't look comfortable on the offensive side. We're now going with Koundé as the starting right back. Why did we spend 50 plus million on a center back, world-class center back, only to play him at right back? If we don't sign a right back, I think 3-back formation is going to be the solution, and just shift it offensively and defensively as needed. But the Koundé pushing up the right wing, don't love it. Roberto defensively on the right side, don't love it. Araujo looks like a deer on ice once he gets in the attacking third if he's put out on the wing. I don't understand why Serginho Dest can't get any minutes. And it's not just that he can't get minutes, folks. It's not just that he can't get minutes, okay? It's that he's not getting the opportunity to get some experience to earn more minutes. Up 3-0 against Valladolid, that would have been a perfect opportunity to bring Serginho Dest on for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But no, you didn't even have him on the roster. He's not even available for selection. So I don't know. We'll talk about what might happen with Serginho Dest once we're done with this and we talk about transfer rumors. But the bad box, until the transfer window is done and we know what's going on with Dest, or until he gets in the squad again, he might continue to stay in that bad box. And it's not because of anything that he's doing, in my opinion. It's just the fact that he can't get a match. So Serginho Dest, or lack thereof, is what goes in the bad box. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable, my friends. Okay. Wash that off. Get rid of it. Time to shake off the bad and move on to the Barça. We change our lighting once again. Turning on to more positive things. I mentioned Dembele. Honestly, he was in the running for Barça. He could have gotten it. And for those of you that are not familiar, the Barça award is, of course, something that represents the Barcelona DNA, something that is true to our identity, our values. All right, so Dembele, very close. Pedri with his goal, very close. A tremendous performance from the young number 8. But this time around, it goes to the often overlooked Eric Garcia. My friends, great performance, there when you needed him, big time tackles, hustling to cover other people's mistakes at times, and like I said, totally overlooked this year with the arrivals of Koundé and Christensen, and that's just on the defensive side. Think about Lewandowski coming in, Rafinha coming in, the saga around Dembele and De Jong and all of these players. Nobody's talking about Eric Garcia. Nobody is talking about Eric Garcia. One of the overlooked players at Barcelona, yet one of the more consistent performers, even going into last season. I am very excited. I'm quite pleased. I like everything that I'm seeing from the progress of Eric Garcia as he continues to mold his way into this Barcelona back line. Now again, with Araujo, with Koundé, with Christensen, even Piqué still hanging around. There's lots of competition. So the fact that he is stepping up, he's answering that call. Today, Eric Garcia gets the Barça box. Well done, sir. That leaves us with the mustache man of the match, and this should be no surprise whatsoever. It is, of course, Robert Lewandowski getting the brace, back-to-back braces for Lewandowski. And tell you what, folks, the second one was even better than the first. That back heel flick a la Luis Suarez, nobody saw that coming. It was out of nowhere. And here's the thing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to articulate it very well, but the angle that he took on that shot, the fact that he didn't cross his legs over, he didn't turn his back to goal and cross his legs and back heel it, then it becomes obvious, right? When you're at the angle that he's at, most players there would have turned their back to goal and backheeled it in a more direct way. He was still facing forward, facing goal when he turned his knee out, opened his hip, and backheeled it to the far post with a little slow change-up pitch. World-class finishing. The just to have the thought to do it, let alone the talent. Absolutely incredible, amazing. He is lighting up the scoreboard. I think he's going to break some personal records. I really do, with goals and or assists. Lewandowski on fire for Barcelona, gets his first Mustache Man of the Match award for the Blaugrana, and that's going to do it for us, folks. That's going to wrap up the good, the bad, and the Barça. Let me know what you think. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What would you change from the good, the bad, the Barça, the Mustache Man of the Match? I'm going to turn the chat. I'm going to get your thoughts. I'm going to say hello, my good mornings. But if you're watching this on replay, let me know down in the comments. Keep the conversation going. What did you think from the 4-0 victory over Valladolid? My friends, good morning to you all. I'm going to turn to the chat, like I said, get my good mornings in, see who's hanging out with us, get some opinions. Kudis, Kyle Cash, both with us. Both with us. How we doing, sir? Wow, this kit looks good. I'm just seeing it. This is the first time wearing it on camera. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Look at this, folks. What do we think? Yes, indeed. I like this. I like this kit. When it first came out, I was like, maybe. But then the more I looked at it, I was like, yes. And now having it live in person looks good. It looks good. Maxime is with us. Forza Barça. Hello. Winston, good morning. Samuel Donna, love the name. Good morning to you. Anthony's with us in the shadows. I'm just scrolling through, seeing who's with us. We'll get caught up on some of your comments in a moment. Flash, good morning. Sem FCT, hello, sir. Kuda says, kit's looking fresh. Yes, indeed. Glenn, how we doing? Haven't seen you in a bit. Glad to see you. Good morning, Jonathan. Michael's here with us. Hello. Sam says, imagine you were muted all this time without looking at the chat. Here's the thing. I did look. So when I do my opening little intro and then I play the, what's it called? My intro, I actually then look at the chat and see if there's anything going on. But most of you are pretty good at putting in like an alert emoji or something like that to get my attention when I am being stupid and have myself muted, which I appreciate, of course. I love that you all look out for me. I make a mistake at least one pretty much every stream. I mean, this is a one-man show here. I'm kind of learning as I'm going. I'm literally just waking up, having my Americano, shaking out the cobwebs. No excuses, play like a champion, but I do appreciate you all looking out for me and giving me some grace with my mistakes, of course. Looks like everybody's loving the kit. Jonathan says, kit looks fire. Winston says, if Barcelona's squad was superheroes, who is each player? Winston, you're hilarious. I would have to think about that for a while. By all means, get your answers in the chat and leave some comments because I love the question, but I'd have to think on that one for a bit. What else we got? Forza Barça asks where the kit is from. Soccer.com. Not a sponsor, but hey, maybe that'll be the first one. Since I continue to buy your kits and people ask and I continue to promote it. Soccer.com. Real easy. For those of you that want to call it football, sorry. Soccer.com is where I get my jerseys. Jonathan says, is it player version or stadium? This is just the stadium version, actually. I'd rarely go for the player version. It's usually not worth the extra cash. Glenn says, all good in the hood. Fantastic. Not Brandon says, Serginho Dest would be Captain America. Aw, poor Serginho Dest. Just can't get any playing time. Terrible. Let's jump over and talk about Serginho Dest, actually, since it's been brought up. Nope, wrong button. This one. There we go. I know how this works. Don't talk to me like that. According to Fabrizio Romano, Serginho Dest is now considering a loan proposal from Villarreal. He's open to discuss about it. Talks on with Barca. It's up to the player. Please no. Please don't. Manchester United manager Ten Hag wants Dest. It's still a possibility, but it can only happen if Wan-Bissaka will leave. Hey, Wan-Bissaka, get out. Go. Because if I can't have Dest at Barcelona playing at least occasionally, then Manchester United on loan is a great opportunity for him. Gives him a Premier League experience, puts him still at, I was going to say a top club. They're not a top club. They're an elite club who is currently struggling, but Premier League, big names around him. He'll have players that he can learn from. Most importantly, like I said, playing time. And if it's just a loan, I'm okay with it. But going to Villarreal, please don't. Please don't. I know the benefit there is that he would get La Liga experience, but just please don't. I don't want it. I don't want Dest at Villarreal. It just doesn't sit well with me. Because to me, that turns more to maybe a permanent deal. Maybe it's a loan to buy option. If he goes to United, that feels like a strict loan and then come back. So, not in love with this one, we'll say. Not in love with this one, folks. What do you think? What do you think about Serginho Dest? What should he do? Should he take a loan? And if so, do you prefer outside of La Liga to a Man United, to a Chelsea, to a, well, I was going to say Bayern Munich, but those rumors have cooled months ago. What do we think? What should happen with Serginho Dest? What should Barcelona do with him? If you're Serginho Dest, what would you do? There's really two different perspectives there. If I'm Serginho Dest, I'm done fighting for my position. I hear you, Xavi. You're not even keeping me in the 23-man squad. I'm out of here, but hopefully just a loan. If I'm Barcelona, if Xavi really doesn't believe in him, maybe cash in, maybe get 20 million for him. I don't know. Let's turn to the chat. Let's get some opinions, see what we're thinking. Felipe says, Foyth is injured for several months. Yes, that came up just a couple days ago, so that deal is off. Not going to happen. Maxime says, let's pray our La Masia American talent Diego Cochen and Oscar Gill if he doesn't get impressed by Xavi. Sorry, having a hard time reading that. Mentioning Bellerin is an option for Barcelona. There have been some reports. Bellerin played for Betis last season, loaned out from Arsenal. He wants to cancel his Arsenal contract, and then his first choice was Betis, but they're having more trouble than Barcelona is with registering their players. So that's looking like not an option. So maybe Bellerin comes back to Barcelona. He is a former La Masia player. A lot of people have overlooked that. Maybe he comes back. Maybe he fills in that right back position. I would prefer Bellerin over putting Koundé out there, over putting Roberto out there, over putting Araujo out there. I would take Bellerin. I would take it. Yes. Jonathan says he believes the board wants to sell Dest. I believe it. I believe it. In the Shadow says Dest being sidelined is unnecessary. He deserves a couple chances to prove himself. I feel like Barca fans underappreciate what they have in him. Him being bad defensively can improve with game time. Agreed. I agree with all of that. He can play on the right. He can play on the left. With the emergence of Balde, I think people are kind of cooling their expectations for Serginho Dest, especially Xavi. So caught in this weird limbo. Not a huge fan. Not a huge fan at all. Forza Barca says, poor Dest, feels sad for him. It's not a good situation, you know? Come over from Ajax. You got all this hype around you. Never quite settle in to a permanent right back position. You know, you have a year of tutelage under Dani Alves, and then you get completely dropped from the squad. Don't make no sense. Don't make no sense at all. Samuel Fernandez, good morning, says Frankie heavily linked to Chelsea. I've been seeing some of those reports. Apparently they have offered him like 18 million a year, something like that. We'll wait and talk about some of those. We do have a bonus episode coming up later today, my friends. I should have mentioned this at the top of the show, but we will have my good friend Pablo Wolves Blanco joining us today, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's in just over 3 hours. We're going to be doing a second live stream episode of Wake Up in Barça. This is a bonus one to make up for Mondays. And like I said, I'm bringing in Pablo Wolves Blanco. We're going to talk transfer deadline day expectations. Who's leaving? Who's going? Who's staying? We'll talk about the wild transfer window that we've had up until now. We'll talk about expectations for some of those new signings, expectations for Barcelona in particular. We'll take a look at the upcoming match against Sevilla. And of course, I'm going to get his perspective on some of the things happening on the Chelsea side of things. Pulisic in particular. And yes, we will talk about Frankie de Jong. That's going to be happening today, 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So like I said, in just about 3 hours, we'll be live again featuring Pablo Wolves Blanco, my friends. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on notifications so you know when we're live. And before we get into the last couple of stories for today, make sure you drop a like. Hit that thumbs up button. Only takes you a moment, but it's the easiest way to show your support for the channel, and I really do appreciate it. It really does make a difference in terms of growing this community. So I would really appreciate it if you take one moment, hit that thumbs up button if you're enjoying this content, and keep coming back, folks. Keep hanging out with us. All right, we talked about Dest, and we brought up De Jong to Chelsea, but we got to talk about Aubameyang to Chelsea. Oh my goodness. First and foremost, let's talk about the fact that he got home invaded, robbed, beat up. He and his wife, Aubameyang, apparently has a broken jaw now, which not only is horrific just on a personal note, but also from a practical sense could impact his transfer to Chelsea. This is from David Ornstein here. It says, intensive talks over Aubameyang from Barcelona to Chelsea continue today, complicated by the 33-year-old suffering a broken jaw during the home robbery, expected to be out a number of weeks, loan also being considered. Now, if a loan move happens, I'm assuming Chelsea will cover part, if not all, of his salary, so that's good enough. I can't imagine we'll bring Aubameyang back and do anything with him. I think he'd have 1 year left on his contract, if I'm not wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm going down the wrong path there, but it's a terrible situation. The burglary, the broken jaw, just on a personal note, that's terrible, like I said. And now that could gum up the works for making this an actual transfer to get some cash in, which we don't technically need. That's the thing. When Barcelona are struggling to register players, it's not because we need cash in hand, necessarily. We can have cash. We have cash, right? But we can only spend a certain percentage of our income. So it gets convoluted. That's the word I'm looking for. It happens. It happens, my friends. What have we not talked about? Ooh, how about this? Upcoming match. Sevilla this Saturday. Of course, going to be a special match for Jules Koundé, making a return to Sevilla. I would expect him to start. I would expect him to be in that right back position unless something wild happens on transfer deadline day. Again, Pablo and I will be discussing that here in just a few hours. We'll be talking about what to expect in these next 24, 36 hours, whatever it is left in the transfer deadline day. We'll be going over that. Plus, on Friday, we'll be doing a live match preview. Losing my words. We'll be doing a live match preview for Barcelona versus Sevilla. That is going to be 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Saturday. Of course, we will be doing the live watch-along. I got you covered for the commentary, all the play-by-play action. You get to come and hang out with your fellow culés, support the badge as we cheer on the Blaugrana. Again, Saturday, Barcelona versus Sevilla, my friends. It's happening. All right, I think that's going to just about do it. Yes, there are some other transfer rumors to discuss, but we're going to go over those later on today, 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, with my good friend Pablo Wolves Blanco. My friends, I want to thank you for starting your day with me. I appreciate you coming and hanging out with the fellow culés, with the Stash Squad, getting your day started with the undefeated community. Again, make sure you're subscribed if you haven't done so already. We'll be live again in about 3 hours with Pablo. Then Friday, we'll do a match preview for Barcelona versus Sevilla. Saturday, the live watch-along. So much happening on this channel as we continue our road to 10,000 subscribers. You can do your part right now in supporting that journey by hitting the thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. Show your support, show your love, because I love you too. I appreciate you spending your time with me. I hope to see you in just a few hours with Pablo. And if not, I'll see you Friday for Barcelona versus Sevilla match preview. That's going to do it, my friends. I'm just rambling at this point. Just rambling and rambling. I'll see you in a few hours. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking a ride.